What's up, skaters? So in my last video I talked about pitch correction in official releases for Queen concerts, and some people of course got mad, like this guy right here who says, have you seen them perform live with no vocal effects? Why just because you have an accent we're supposed to believe you? Yes, as everyone knows, if you have an accent, everything you say automatically true. Also, because of my accent, I think I was actually pronouncing out of tune instead of auto-tune. I think I fixed it, but it's such a subtle difference for me. But anyway, and I also got this comment, which is my favorite. It says,
get a fucking life. Stop getting paid to talk shit about God Freddie Mercury.
You guys are getting paid? Anyways, I answer like laughing, and he says,
unsubscribe, you worthless man.
Anyways, in this video I'm going to talk about some more examples of overdubbing and pitch correction, so you can... I don't know. And by the way, I want to make it clear that these videos are not meant as criticism, but even if it was meant as criticism, it's not directed towards Freddie Mercury because he wasn't alive when these decisions to pitch correct his concerts were made, because as a lot of people pointed out, the technology didn't exist when he was alive. So even if this was criticism, it is not towards Freddie, it is to the producers or to Queen Productions or like the music industry, if you will, that pitch correct everything nowadays. It was never criticism towards Freddie. Moving on. Here's one of the easiest examples to detect an overdub that you will ever hear probably. So Chief Mouse here, who is absolutely great at remastering videos, he extracted the audio center channel from this official release, and what you get is a much more obvious and easy to hear overdub. You can still hear it in the official release, but you have to pay a lot of attention, and it's just a lot easier to hear it here.
Open up your mind and let me step inside!
So what happens is that the environment or the setting where the overdub was recorded is completely different from the live environment where the actual real vocals happened. The background noise suddenly stops and then it comes back, so that gives it away that it was recorded in a different situation.
Open up your mind and let me step inside! Rest your will.
But anyway, this video is not about overdubbing, so I'm not going to talk anymore about it. I just want to point this one out because it's like the easiest one to hear, because you don't even have to compare it to a different source. You just hear it. So anyway, let's move on to pitch correction. Take a listen at how Freddie sings the last note in this song. And then you have the official release where this doesn't happen, and it's just different, so you should be able to hear it.
Unsubscribe, you worthless man.
Then, if you're interested about the Live at the Rainbow 74 concert, Thomas Christie here, he did an amazing job comparing the 1992 VHS release, which has overdubs but it doesn't have pitch correction, to the 2014 release, which apparently has less overdubbing but pitch correction. So it's like different things. And he points out some really cool stuff that gives it away too. But since I'm doing a part 2 to this video, I thought I could add something different. It's a third kind of studio trick, if you will, that they did to Queen concerts, and it's not overdubbing, it's not pitch correction, it's something quite different. So basically what this is, some people call it like a Frankenstein. So for example, in Queen Montreal 1981, the show, it was 2 nights, but you know, they just recorded or filmed one of the nights, right? So what that allowed Queen Productions to do is to choose the best parts of each night and blend it together into just one final result, which is what we know as the official release. So this is a lot harder to tell, but it's doable. For example, you have to listen to a few versions of the first night of this concert, which is the one they didn't film. For example, you can listen to Under Pressure and you will hear some major differences in the way Freddie sang it. But then what happens is you're listening to this version, for example, of We Are the Champions, and suddenly one of the parts sounds identical to what you hear in the official release, which was supposedly the second night. So what that would mean is they took that part for some reason and they cropped it and pasted it into the official release. You have to pay a lot of attention to Freddie's vocals to really detect this, but here's my favorite and easiest to hear example. When Freddie sings "But I've Come Through."
I've had my share of sadness in my past, but I've come through. I've had my share of sadness in my past, but I've come through.
yeah, this is one of the, I guess, hardest to prove ones. So I'm just, I'm just mentioning it so you can debate it. But there's a lot of examples. I guess if you're really interested, I can make a third part to this series, I guess. But let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. I know what I just did.
And subscribe, you worthless man.